Okay, so I've got a little bit of an interesting situation going on. So, if you follow my videos in the past, I own my own company. It's a power washing, gutter cleaning. We do some window cleaning, and then in the wintertime, it's holiday lighting. So, that was one of the reasons I got into RV transport was, initially I was thinking just for the winter time, because I pretty much in the Chicagoland, I'm not doing any work from like end of December to, if I'm lucky, March if the weather breaks decently, sometimes April, just kind of depends on the winter we have. So my initial thought, I was gonna sign up for a company that only requires one load a month, so then throughout the year I would still do the one load, and then in the wintertime I would increase the amount of loads to make up for the lack of income coming in during the off months. And the RV transport just doesn't, I don't make as much doing not even close to as much as I make, running my own business, but during the off months I don't make any money. So anything I was making with RV transport was going to be, more. So that was my initial plan. I ended up leasing on with the company that I'm leased on with, but they require 12 loads a month. Just being a smaller company, that's what it takes to make it worth the insurance rates for them. So I've been doing that. I really enjoy RV transport. I don't really know why I like it so much, but I do really enjoy it. I don't know if it's just like aging now. I just don't want to deal with people as much. In RV transport, you kind of just by yourself. You're not really dealing with people too much. But it's been going good, and I've been running, a lot of times over 12 loads a month, just because I'm enjoying it, and the pay is pretty decent. You can gross over $2,000 a week fairly easily, working 3 to 4 days a week. And what I was doing, because I started this in November, and that's really my busy season, so I wasn't sure how it was going to work out, because November for holiday lighting that's my busiest time of the year, is getting everybody's holiday lighting up, and gutter cleaning at the end of the year. Everybody's trying to cram that in before the freeze comes. So I wasn't sure how that was going to go. I had 2 guys working for me. One guy had been working for me for about 5 years, so I knew he could pretty much do everything with a little bit of guidance from me. And then I brought on a friend of mine to kind of be the operations manager, so that I didn't have to do day-to-day work or run materials out when needed. It didn't work out as well as I had hoped it would, and mainly what I was running into was just lack of quality from the guys, and just maybe lack of care, I guess you can call it. I wasn't making as much money as I should have been, because I was paying a lot of extra labor to get done with jobs that I knew shouldn't take as long, and a lot of gas money running around in the work truck. Jobs weren't getting done. I'm sending them back out multiple times to the same job. So I ended up letting go of the long-term contractor that had worked with me. The guy that had been with me for about 5 years, he was a pretty good number 2 when I was number 1, but he just wasn't a good number 1. He just didn't have it, and I was paying too much hourly for someone that really was just a number 2. So then the guy that I did have as like the helper, assistant, I knew he was kind of raw, and but I wanted to give him an opportunity. It was my friend that I hired as the operations manager. It was his nephew, we had a few hiccups, but I thought we could probably work through it. So, sorry, I don't know if that came through. was giving him the opportunity to hopefully kind of take on that lead role spot, because I had the other guy as like a lead guy, and that unfortunately has not worked out. I would say the easiest job that I do is taking down lights after the holidays. It's very basic. You use a 20-foot pole with a hook, and you hook them, and they're all pretty much one strand. You pull them down, you roll them up nicely, clean up, make sure there's no clips and extension cords left behind. We take everything with us, and that it was just not happening. Even like I was getting complaints where clips were left on gutters, clips were left all around the yard. I'm sending him back multiple times to the houses to go get the clips that he left up there, and he's still leaving them up there. I even had him take the lights down at my own house, and I've got clips stuck to my gutter. I've got extension cords laying in my bushes. Just things that don't seem like a big deal, but they are a big deal when you're charging as much as we charge to do this kind of work. The expectation is to be top quality. So ultimately, I had to let this guy go as well, because it was costing me a lot of money to keep sending him back, and then all the customer complaints. When the last kind of final straw was a longtime customer of mine said that my guy was just throwing the lights off of the roof, and they just shattered all over the driveway, and then left all the pieces that were shattered. So obviously that makes me look bad, makes the company look bad, and then it cost me a lot of money, because now I got to fix all that stuff. So that was kind of the final straw. So the point of this video is I'm trying to navigate how am I going to run my business and do RV transport, and I'm coming up with a plan, because I don't want to give up on either. But for the interim, I have to work within my business to hire. I gotta hire. I'm gonna start with one person that I can train, that's going to work side by side with me. So I'm going to have to work within my business, which I haven't done in about a year, and I'm going to train to make sure things are kind of done the way that I want, and then hopefully within like 30 to 60 days I'll have an idea of whether or not this person that I hire is capable of being like a lead technician, and if that person is, then I would hire another person to be the assistant, because I feel like it's a two-man job most days. So and then I have to make sure that I help train that second guy, since the first person isn't going to be in a position to be training really. And then once I get two solid individuals, at that point I can go back to removing myself from the day-to-day operations, and kind of go from there. And then I have to figure out, as far as my friend that's my operations manager, what am I going to do with him, because if I'm in the business every single day, I don't necessarily need an operations manager that's helping maintain the operation, because I'm going to be there. Eventually could go back to where he's kind of running that, but in the interim I'm going to have to figure out a new role that he can help out with. So it's going to be a challenge. Like I said, I'm not looking to give up on either one of them. My own business obviously is going to pay me on average twice what I can make in RV transport. So as much as I love the RV transport, I have to put my business at the forefront. But I think what my plan is going to be is, luckily with RV transport, you get a lot of flexibility. Mine a little bit less because of the amount of loads I have to run, but you still get a lot of flexibility. And what I mean by that is I'm still going to be able to talk to my dispatcher on a Monday and ask for, hey, give me the 3 loads, 4 loads, whatever I want. It's likely going to be the 3 to hit my minimum 12 for at least a little while. And then, if he sends me those 3 loads, I just have to figure out sometime from Monday to Sunday, how can I get these 3 loads done? So kind of what my plan is I'll do like maybe 4 days a week within my business. And then what I'm thinking is I'll run to Indiana, pick up 1 load in the evening, and then the next, sometime during the week, deliver that 1 load in the evening. And then let's say I do Monday through Thursday with my business. On Friday, I could run a load for RV Transport, and then I have to figure out a way to get one done over the weekend. So I think that's going to be my plan of action, is going to be 4 days a week in my business, 1 load in the evenings, 1 load on Friday, and then 1 on Saturday or Sunday to get my 3 loads. And obviously, like if my business, if I have a slow month, I'm going to be able to kind of flex over and maybe knock out like, 4 load weeks with RV Transport to make a little bit of extra money, and kind of go that route. So I think I'm going to be able to make it work fairly easily. I'm not going to say easy. It is going to be a challenge. It is going to be a lot of hours, and it could create issues if I can't find good help, which has been an issue in the past, finding decent help. But it's kind of a new thing in my business. I probably rode out longer than I should have with the guy that was with me for 5 years, because he was very unreliable. I would say like once a week calling in sick and stuff, or being really late, and I kind of just let it go because I was comfortable with it, and finally like enough was enough, and I just had to make a change. So I think in the long run it's going to be a good change. It's just going to be a little bit of a headache for right now. But I like I said, because RV Transport is so flexible, I feel like, in the interim, I'm going to actually have more money, because I'm going to be able to make good money, higher profits within my business, and still be able to knock out RV Transport and just kind of pocket both. So that's kind of my game plan with that. I am going to, equipment-wise, I got to figure out what I'm going to do, because I want to get a fifth wheel hitch for my truck. In my current power washing setup, I have a 99 F350 with a V10, with about 200,000 miles on it. It's a very nice, clean truck for the year. I have a huge power washer that sits in the bed of it. It's an 8-foot bed. The thing takes up the entire 8 foot. It's got a 300-gallon water tank with a hot water pressure washer. But it's kind of it's not a great reliable unit. It's a cheaply built one. So I think what I'm going to do is sell the truck and the power washer, and then I'm either going to buy a trailer, which I've had in the past, that I can back into my garage and use that trailer every single day behind my current truck, or I'm going to look to buy a similar setup to what I have now, but probably like a full 4-door, maybe like a 7.3 liter Power Stroke that's not rusty, and build a setup in the bed of that. And then I kind of figured that would give me that second truck. If I had to ever pull that setup out, I could use it for RV Transport. But I know the truck that I currently have for work is just not going to be a good system that I'm going to have to upgrade it. So that's kind of my next task. I'm going to try to have somebody hired sometime in March, because usually by like March, I find out a lot of our contracts for the commercial work I do with some villages. I'm going to find out if I won those again by beginning of April, end of March. Usually, I think they decide the last day of March who gets the work. It's a high likelihood I'll get it, because I've been doing it for 5 or 6 years now. So it would be odd if I didn't get it. But I'm not gonna. It's never 100%. I do have to bid it every year. But I put those bids in already. They decide at the end of March, so I have to have a plan in place by like April 1st as far as equipment goes. hired to help out. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with. I'm gonna title this video, how am I gonna balance owning a full-time business as well as RV transport. But I'm confident that I'm gonna be able to do it. I'm sure there'll be some hiccups, and I'll make some videos of those hiccups, but we'll get it done.